Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BTP podcast. I'm here with the one and only Jerome Clementz. This is a French enduro racer who was a pioneer and one of the very first enduro superstars. He was the very first EWS Enduro World Series world champion. He's won 6 EWS races, I believe. He's won the Team Enduro of Nations 4 times. He's won the Individual Enduro of Nations 2 times. He won the Mountain of Hell 3 times. He won the Alpe d'Huez Megavalanche 3 times, as well as wins in the Adrenaline Challenge, the Crankworx Enduro in Whistler, Trans-Provence, Red Bull Exodus. I was there. Watch you do that one. Red Bull Trail Fox and the Andes Pacifico. He's won basically everything, and he's one of the very first superstars of enduro, and a great guy and an old friend of mine. How are you, Jerome?
I'm good. I'm good, Red. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. That's quite the resume.
That's yeah. I didn't remember all this. It's good memory.
You've forgotten more races than most people have won. Now we're here in Riva de Garda. We just did the festival, and you're driving home to France today, back to see your baby boy and your girl, Pauline.
Happy to drive today.
Yeah. How was the show for you here in the festival?
Actually, it was really good. It's been 2 years with COVID that we didn't come here, and it's good to see a lot of people and to be back at the show in Riva. And the show, it was good, and we managed to stick some riding, and it's always great to ride the Riva trails.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's super rocky and technical and gnarly here, eh?
Yeah, I would not like to ride this all year long, but when you come here, you kind of have a special feeling of the Riva del Garda, limestone, slippery, loose rocks.
Right. Well, I know it is so slippery, especially when it's wet. It's gnarly.
Yeah, and I think with the winter they had, like, not many people rode the trail yet, so it was still fresh and a bit messy. Which was also interesting.
Yeah, leaves and stuff everywhere and whatnot.
Yeah,
pretty crazy. We typically start with the guest telling us about their first bicycle. What was your very first bicycle?
I think from what I remember, my first bicycle was a blue and white BMX. That's I got for Easter at home, and just remember getting it and riding on the sidewalk for all day, just on my bike, BMX white and blue with some white rims and everything. So that was my first bike that I remember. And then my first mountain bike was one from the supermarket. It was Optimalp, like really cheap version, but this one also I think suffered a lot because I put it in the mountain and rode I think more than it was made for.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny. Now you first had your first sports competitions in Nordic skiing. You were a cross country ski racer.
Yeah, exactly. That's my first, let's say, sport that I was doing. My nanny, when my parents were working and after school I was staying, and she was the president of a cross country skiing club, and I was in love with her daughter, and so I wanted to do more stuff with her. So I went and I started cross country skiing, which was cool, and I like it for a long time, and I still do a lot. For me, it's a really good the way to exercise and also to be out in the nature, and it's really quiet, a bit of fitness also, and the sliding parts where you just on the snow glide. So
perfect. And then you started competing in biathlon, and tell us what's biathlon again?
So biathlon is skiing and shooting. And the true story why I wanted to do biathlon is because when you do cross country skiing, you need to do the classic version and the skating, and I didn't like the classic. So if you were doing biathlon, because it's only on skating, you could skip the classic version. So I said, let's do that because I prefer to skate, and actually I kind of like it, and it's a mix. And if you think about enduro after, it's the same kind of balance in the sport, because you have some moment when you ski when you need to go fast and full gas, like give it all, and then some moment where you need to be more quiet, think of what you're doing, calm down, etc. So I think in enduro it was a bit the same, long climb, physical, and then some downhill where you need to think and be really precise. So I think there is a match.
Yeah, it complements each other. So you discovered mountain biking from training in the summer for biathlon.
Yeah. Our coach was also a biker, and in the winter there is some ski that you can do on the road, but he said, hey, that's kind of boring. Also, let's mix it and do a bit of mountain biking. And I did a summer of training on a mountain bike. And at the end of the summer season, we had a small local race, and they said, "Hey, all the skiers, let's do the race for fun." And I said, "Okay, yes, I like it." And I did the race, and I told my parents, "Hey, next spring, I want to do more mountain bike competition." And this is how I started.
Okay, cool. And then so you did biathlon and mountain biking back to back?
Yeah, for a while.
For years?
I mean, when you're young, it's not a problem. And so biathlon and skiing was the winter, and in the spring and summer, I was doing some mountain biking, and I think I did it for 5 or 6 years. That was okay, but at some point when I went into the junior category, like in the winter, we had a French Federation training camp, and in the summer we had a ski training camp on the glacier, and I had to make some decisions. So one year the ski federation told me, "Hey, if you don't do the summer camp, we don't take you in the local team." I said, "Okay, I still prefer to ride in the summer." So right, and came the first 3 races of the cross country season, and I won the first race skiing. And they say, "Okay, this year we still take you, but at the end of the year you need to take a decision." And for me, I was like 15 or 16, and I was not ready to be pro. And I had way more fun on mountain biking, and the cross country was already really serious. In France in general, and I think many countries, they don't have a big reservoir of athletes, so they want to select them. It's really a selection. It's not about making grow and have fun. It's at some points, when you're 15, you already need to walk like a World Cup guy, right. And they count the hour of training, the gym, etc. And the mountain bike was still for me really fun. Just go out, ride, try to improve the skills. So I decided, okay, I think it's better for me, and also you ride much more in the season, especially where I live, where
right.
the snow season is only 2-3 months. Sorry, and then this is how I took my decision.
Okay, cool. So then you joined the French team in 2002, and you raced in the Junior World Downhill Championships in Caprun, and you were 10th. So you're like, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this."
Yeah, I was 10th, but I was not super happy because I had a crash, and I was third at the quali.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh man!
And yeah, so that was but this race, you know what? It was not really a downhill race, Caprun. It was more an enduro stage.
Because it was
super long. There was some flat section when you had to pedal. No, but I was doing when I was junior, I was doing cross country and downhill because enduro didn't exist. So cross country and downhill, and my favorite race of the year was still Megavalanche.
Yep.
But yeah, so I did both for a while, and was lucky enough to ride for the World Championship in Caprun.
Yeah.
In France, it's quite hard to get in the national team. There is a lot of good riders.
In France, you think? Yeah, so, no doubt, eh?
I was super stoked to be able to live that once in my life.
That's awesome. So the Megavalanche you're mentioning, Alpe d'Huez, 25 kilometers of full downhill marathon. And you did it in 2003, and then you did it again in 2005, and you won the thing, beating everybody.
I did it first in 99.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
99,
my God.
I had a Synthesi Bazooka. So at the time you didn't speak about an enduro bike. It was like a small downhill bike.
Yeah.
And there were no dropper posts. So when we hit the road, we had to stop, open the seat binder, leave the saddle, close it, pedal on the road for a while, then put it down. And like most of the people didn't make it down because the bike were not ready for that,
Right.
They were like either flat, broken chain, derailleur were snapping, and so that was a real adventure at the time. And that was my go-to race for the season. That was the one I was the most excited for. And yeah, 2001, I won in junior with I think six overall.
Okay.
Was really happy with that. And in 2005, the big boss was René Wildaber, and I was getting better, but I was far from being one of the favorites for the win.
Yeah.
And I managed to pull up a clean race, and I was really a surprise for me to win the race. Like I didn't dream of winning. It's like, hey, if I do top 5, amazing, but the level of the top guy, and yeah, that kind of launched my career, and my expectation went higher after that,
Right, for yourself and from
for
everybody
myself
else.
And I also got sponsors. Like before, I had bike on loan and things like this. And after I got the sponsor, that was, hey, we want you to ride for us. So that's it. that kind of launched my career.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. And then you won it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times in the elite: 2005, 2010,
Yeah.
and 2013.
How is it going down the snow down there with all these people around you, and you're flying in the snow, and then you've got to make a corner, and I've seen the pileups that can happen. It can be super gnarly. You know, like that's got to be nuts. And then once you finish that, then you're into the rocks, and there's different lines. There's not one line. There's all these different lines you can pick before you get into the single track. It looks absolutely crazy.
Yeah, riding on the snow, actually, it's super easy. Like, if you let the brake go, the snow is good, it's super cool, and you can reach amazing speed, like just crazy that you cannot imagine in real life. But like, you go really quick. But the problem at Mega is that you don't control everything because you don't control the other guys. So even if you're in good shape, made a good line, the good choice, but someone make a mistake and hit you, crash, then your race is over. So that's the most stressful thing at Mega, that you have a lot of people around, but it's also what makes it fun.
Right.
It's exciting when you're at the start, 1,000 people, the helicopter, alarma, and you're ready to drop down and say, okay, no, I don't have to miss my pedal when I start, and you need to be careful which rider is next to you because some are more aggressive than others.
Right.
And where you go, and also, as you mentioned in the rocks, when you do the practice, okay, there is one line that is faster maybe, but it's not sure that you can take it at the race because there's a lot of people, and if you need to overtake, you need also to look for other lines at the beginning and at the end of the glacier and the rocks. It's quite open. There is not real single track because in the winter it's full of snow. And then in the practice, we make lines by riding, and then you need to say, okay, this is probably the fastest, but if I'm not in the first, I need to check this line or this line.
Right.
So that's a bit
Plan
strategic.
B, Plan C.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So you finished second overall in the European Marathon Cup in 2005, and then you did like a second place in the Mountain of Hell, which you went on to win several times as well. So you're putting it out there, and you're getting good results, and you joined forces with the MBK Sun Valley team that specialized in enduro races. So it was becoming a thing.
Yeah, it was becoming a thing. So at the beginning, we had the French national race for downhill cross country and Mega Mountain of Hell. That was the only 2 races that were kind of enduro style.
Yeah.
We were calling them downhill marathon at the time. And then in 2007, I think the first national race of enduro, like that Fred Glow started.
Fred Glow, legend.
Yeah, legend. And George Edwards, who is also a legend that created Megavalanche, also organized a series of mass start races. And when this happened, so I raced World Cup until 2005.
Yep.
With okay result, not in the front.
Downhill.
Yeah, downhill. I think my best result was 31st, I think.
Okay.
So, okay, but not at the top. And I was really enjoying that. So when MBK after my Mega win, contact me to be part of the Enduro team, I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It was a French brand, quite known at the time, especially at the end of the 90s. They did a lot of good bikes, and they were leading in the segment.
Yep.
And this is how I started doing the SAP Salomon Avalanche Trophy.
Okay.
It was called. So a different event, also included some downhill, some mass start in Scotland, in Norway. So kind of European scene then, from France to a bigger level for enduro. So
Right. And so how many World Cup downhills did you do, you think?
I think around 6 or 7.
Okay.
I was not doing the full series, but like the local one, let's
Right.
say Caprun, Les Uns, I did Ligier, Les Deux Alpes, did the World Cup. So yeah,
Right.
few downhill. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice, but when you go, and this is I think why I also picked enduro more, is like what I like since I start biking is to take my bike and go out in the mountain and ride. And when you go to downhill races, you travel a long distance to get to the race, and you have like 4 or 5 practice one quali run, one final run. So in the weekends, a lot of traveling, a lot of waiting, but not much riding.
Yeah.
And I said at some point, I was like, yeah, that's not what I'm into. And also the fact that you repeat always the same track. So when you go somewhere, you only see one track.
Yeah.
And what I like is to discover the area, you know?
Right.
So enduro was perfect for me
Okay.
in this way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, in 2008, moving on, you got sponsored by Cannondale, which is a long-running sponsorship, and you still you work for them indirectly today. for them, and as a collective as GT as well,
Yeah, cycling sports group.
and Fabric.
Yeah, it's Fabric, GT, and Cannondale. It's
Okay.
a cycling sport group, and now we have been acquired by Pon
Yep.
Cycle, so we're part of even a bigger group. With
Okay.
other brand.
But you're identified by Cannondale for a long time through your career. So, but now you have a salary, you have a pro team, you got a mechanic. Like it's happening. And
Yeah, it didn't happen
2008.
like this because that was, I mean, and I'm really fine with how it happened, and I think it was a good learning. Is like at the time when you were signing a deal, there were nothing like this included because Enduro was so small. So
still.
the first Cannondale deal was through French, the French marketing manager. Yeah, they just launched the moto, and I went to them say, hey, my bike looks good. I like Cannondale, and we make a small deal. But in the US or everywhere in the world, they didn't know about Enduro.
Okay, it was still a growing sport.
Yeah, it was growing sport, and so I like the bike. I like the company. My longtime friend Guillaume Cor was working for Cannondale, and this is how we get into a connection. And for 2-3 years, I was sponsored by the French team for Enduro, and then, as I'd say, it's become a bit more European. Like the North American start looking into what is Enduro, and it grows. And Cannondale was smart enough or nice enough to offer me a better support by 2011.
Okay.
Like more like a global support with a plan for the future. And then EWS started, and then this is where it changed, where you get the full mechanic support, pro salary, and
Right.
and
Yeah.
and really a living. Because until then I was still working on the side.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's what you got to do, right? So many pros have to do that to get up to a certain level, right?
For sure. I mean, I think Pink Bike did a survey last year on the salary of the rider, and you can see that a lot just get enough to travel, not really to make a salary. So
Right.
that's how it started for me too. So I finished my study as a sport teacher and a mountain bike coach. I also was a ski patrol
Yep.
in the winter, and yeah, I could make a living from my job and make some time to race in the summer. And I think Mavic was the first brand that also, like when I was with Cannondale, Mavic came on board and said, okay, we would like to support you. And I got a job. There were no Facebook at the time, and I was the community manager. So looking on forum and replying to the people that were complaining or asking questions, also inviting them to ride with like the engineer and test the product, etc. So that was a way that I could know I stopped working, but doing this from home, so I can do my schedule, train as I want, and still get some income from working as in a way.
Right. And as in 2009, you created the I don't know how you say it, the Alsace Enduro Tour.
Yeah.
Which became, the Bluegrass Enduro Tour eventually in 2012, and it was managed by your company, Loiseau
Loiseau Rider Production.
Loiseau Rider Production. So you're creating this new sport literally, and holding races and trying to grow the sport of enduro.
Yeah. So in 2008, I moved to live 1 year in the south of France near Nice, and they had a lot of local races, enduro races, and I was there doing the local races. So before, only national race for enduro, no local races. And I say, hey, the French Federation is doing nothing for enduro in my region, and I'm pretty sure the potential is there. Like the terrain is perfect in Les Vosges. So I live near La Bresse, if you have been following the World Cup. So I live on this kind of mountain, which is really good for riding. And I say, hey, let's do something. And I started with this Alsace Enduro Tour. And yeah, it picked up really quick. We were full the first year. Didn't expect that, and we're still running it. Now it's called Bike Component Enduro Tour, and we have 5 rounds every year, 4 to 5 rounds, and around 400 rider every event.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We have kids race, and so now as I'm working more, my wife is taking care of that more.
Yeah.
I'm just supporting on the weekend, but yeah, this is a good start, and I'm super happy also to give back to the community.
Yeah.
Like these people, they have a race and it's super grassroots. It's not about like most of the prize. So basically when we do the race, the winner gets a pack of food, of a local food, bottle of wine, some sweet from the area, jam, marmalade, whatever, saucisson. And all the nice prize we get from sponsors, like helmets, kits, drivetrain, whatever, we make a giveaway, you know, like you just put your number at the end of the race and hey, here's a new Vode kit for you. Here's a helmet from Bluegrass, and that's cool. You know, it's like the guy that come top rider, they come to train for their bigger objective, like bigger races, and it's more like a blind race, fun event one day, and everybody have a good time.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Moving on to your racing career though, like you from 2007 to 2012, you won the Enduro series in France. You won the Megavalanche, like I said. You won the Mountain of Hell. You won that one, you know, as you did multiple times. Red Bull Trail Fox in Switzerland, I think. Yeah. And La Provence, and then the Red Bull Exodus at Crankworx. And I was there. I was announcing and on the line, and Shams March was supposed to win that.
Yeah.
And you guys, he took off and had the lead, and it was snow at the top, if I remember, and rain. It was so muddy and so cold up there, and you guys took off, and then he was in the lead, and you're in hot pursuit, and then you passed him, what, halfway down the mountain or 2/3 of the way down the mountain?
Is it in deep? Is it a trail in Whistler?
Yeah.
I passed him on in deep on some rooty section. I just bargained that I can make it because it was slippery, and I say, okay, if I want to pass him, probably here is good, and I just passed him. I passed him there, and after I was maybe 20 meters in front of him.
Yeah.
All the time, all the way down, and I can start again from the story. So the story is that we were on holidays for Whistler first time.
Oh, wait.
I didn't came for the race.
You borrowed a bike, didn't you?
No, I only have my downhill bike there.
Yeah.
Because my first trip to North America took my Cannondale judge.
Yeah.
And with my brother, we went to visit my friend Vincent Pernin.
Yeah.
That is also a friend of yours.
Yeah.
And at the time,
that's where I met you.
Yeah. At the time, you couldn't go to the top of the world by bike, only with a guide.
Right.
And then we saw, there's this Red Bull Exodus race. And if you register the race, you can go top of the world and do one practice run and final. And it's like, hey, we don't care about the race. Let's just, that's the opportunity to ride the top. So, and we end up doing a race and I passed him. And after it was just like 10, 20 meters behind me. 10, 20 meters behind me. And if you know Sean March, maybe you can put a photo. He's quite powerful and he has good legs.
Beast.
And I was like sprinting like all the way down. It was like really tough, and I was super stoked to win this race. And and then Red Bull came to me and say, "Hey, you living in Whistler now?" I say, "No, I'm just in a holiday." Oh shit! Because the price is a flight ticket to Red Bull Crash Ties in Quebec, and it's gonna cost us a lot of money. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I won. and they say, hey, when you go home, can you check the price of the tickets? So, you know, they were a bit scared.
Yeah.
And then when I went home, I look Basel, near where I live, to Montreal, and I send them the quote. It's like, oh, actually, it's cheaper to fly from France to Quebec than from Vancouver to Quebec. So yeah, all good. Bring your wife.
That's awesome. Oh man, and pretty cool to see a Red Bull Crash Ties event.
Yeah.
The crowds are going crazy.
You've done some, no?
I've announced a bunch. Yeah.
But you went down on this ice skate, no?
No, I didn't. No, I got there. And I used to play hockey a little bit, but I didn't bring my skates with me. I just brought a microphone. Yeah, so I announced it. So me and Cam McCall actually announced one in Michigan. 140,000 fans.
Yeah, in Quebec was crazy. All the street was like, people were lining up to do on the whole track.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that. We hung out and we met with Vincent Pernin, and yeah, you borrowed a bike and won. Beat like so many good racers there, and the photos from that event is crazy because people were so covered with mud and only their eyeballs were the only and teeth.
Yeah.
And not even the teeth sometimes too. Were not covered with mud. It was insane.
Yeah, it was full. Like at the top was snow, then all the bike park trail were like full of puddles and like really, really muddy.
Yeah, it was a crazy event. So you're starting to win. You're on your pace. In 2013, they start a Enduro World Series, the EWS, and they pull in different races from different places and put it into a tour, kind of like the World Cup for Enduro, but it's called the EWS. And you start off, and I believe with a second in Punta Ala.
Yes.
And then you got another second in Whistler.
Second in Whistler, yeah.
And then you started winning. Then you won the Les Deux Alpes, and then another win in Winter Park. And then the final race of the year was in Val d'Isère, and you won that one too. So you got the most points, and you're the first, and will forever be, the first EWS World Champion, World Series overall, and that put you right in the record books. And dude, you were the champ. You're like, I like this EWS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big sport fan, so I watch a lot of sport, and I remember hearing about they may do a World Series, etc., etc. So I knew a bit Enrico for racing some Italian race. I knew Chris because we did some huge event together. And yeah, I was like just trying to get information. Yeah, it's happening, it's not happening, okay. And then they made it. And as a big sport fan, I was like, there is so many good riders that never won a World Cup. Not a World Championships, just a World Cup. And when I entered the season, my goal was to win. I didn't care about the championships. My goal was to win one event. I think at the time, someone like Danny Hart, Troy Brosnan, they never won a World Cup. And they were there for a while, like the second, third, or like my friend Maxime Marotte, still hasn't won a World Cup cross country. And he's super strong and always there. He almost win Brazil. And I was like, I don't care about the overall. What I want is to win one round.
Right.
And when the Cannondale came out, there were Val d'Isère race, which is like a long time French event, which I really liked and I won many times. It's like, if I can win one, it's this one. I start the race, second stage, flat. Oh, over. It's like, okay, it's not for me. And then I won Val d'Isère. And okay, that was really emotional for me. And from there were no more pressure on me. Like a lot of people think I wanted to make the overall, but I want this kind of realize one of my dream, and then everything was easy.
Right.
Like
pressure's off.
Like on a cloud. Like you don't hit any rocks. You ride over roots, and it's not slippery. That was a really nice season. Good battle with Jared because he's also a strong rider.
Jared Graves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, but yeah.
Was Fabien Barel racing?
Yeah, but
as well?
Fabian was
and Remy Absalon was a very fast contender.
Exactly. Yeah, Remy was still is good competitor with me, same age. So all over a young age, we raced together. So
oh really?
Before EWS, he was winning one national run. I was winning one. He was winning. I was winning. But at the same time, we're super good friends. Yep. So that was really a pleasure to do my career against Remy.
Yeah.
And with Remy, because I think we help each other, and that's why when the Enduro World Series started, French were so high because there were Remy, myself. In the past, there were Alex Ballot and like all the guys that also help us. But then Florian Nicolai came in, and we were in front, so we need to push to stay in front of these young kids. And I think that's what helped us to have such a French strong team.
Yeah, totally. Well, you can see it in the downhill circuit now, with all the fast Frenchies. That's just it's insane. Like
if you race a local race in France, it's also France. It's like a World Cup.
Right.
You have Brunic, Coulange, Vergier, all Daprela, all these guys there. It's a freaking regional race. And
right.
The top 10 is a World Cup contender.
Right, totally. Yeah, oh my God, yeah, it's so fast. I don't know, people have wondered, why makes the French so fast? But like you say, there's so many fast people that live close enough that you can compete against each other, and you have wicked mountains.
Yeah.
And the French have something in their brain that makes them a little bit crazy, like when it comes to sports.
I think, yeah, we are a bit crazy, that's for sure. But I think if you travel not a long distance, you have a lot of different terrain, so that make us capable to ride in different terrain: wet, dry, rocky, woody, muddy. So that's I think helpful, and also because when you're a junior, or if you want to be visible or if you want to achieve good result, you see those guys and you want to catch up, so the example, the bar is set quite high,
right?
So that's a motivation, I want to be like these guys,
Yeah.
And when you are young and under 16, under 18 category, and you win with no fight, doesn't push you to get better,
right?
And in France, all categories is competitive, so if you want to be at the top, you need to work already, and I think that's good at emulation, we call it in French.
Yeah.
Like we push each other to get better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I love it. Wow. So you won the first EWS and you continue to race. Your salary must have gotten better, from you and all your different sponsors. So you're making, a good living, and you're the man. You're the man, and there's like a bunch of really fast people, but you're the winner, and you'd won everything. I think you competed with Cannondale for 11 years, was it?
Like no, it's competing. Yeah, 11 years.
Yeah, with Cannondale.
Yeah,
or for Cannondale.
I stopped in 2020 as an athlete.
Right. So it's time for that part of the show. Our sponsor is Ride Wrap. It's time for that our part of the show, the Ride Wrap crash of your life. What was the crash of your life?
The crash of my life, I think. It was the one in 2014, and I got lucky. He could record it.
Really?
Yeah. The camera guy was just there. Leading the World Series, I won in Nevada de Chile, and just a national race near Fabien Barrel, hometown, Blozasque. During the race, start, flat pedal. My grandmother can ride this trail, and just sprinting, clip the pedal. My belly was on the bar. Oh, like you're the passenger. You just wait, and you have the time to see. Okay, this is not good. And just I flew in the ditch, roll, like dislocated my shoulder, like tear off all the ligaments. So I can send you the footage if you want to put it in the show.
Insert clip here. Really, it was gnarly. Eh?
It was just like so easy, and I didn't expect to crash.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you see, you're in a technical section, and whoa, you focus. Yeah, all your brain, all your muscles are ready to jump off in case you need,
Right.
You do some steep section, and this feeling at the top, everything is awake in you. And there was nothing awake. Like just like race mode, pedal, and hit the pedal. And when I was on my bar, I was like, I can do nothing, and is this gonna hurt? And flew in the ditch. And then the camera guy was like, oh, sorry. Because he thought it was his fault. I didn't see him when I crashed.
Oh, you didn't even know.
I just clipped a rock on the pedal. And yeah, when like he helped me to get out the ditch, and I woke up to the start and took the fireman car to the hospital.
Yeah.
And the guy said, hey, I was praying for like a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
And the guy said, oh, you're lucky it's not broken. It's just the ligament.
Oh no!
What? No. Can you break it?
Yeah. It's not the way it works.
But I was lucky with some contact. I got a good surgeon.
Yeah.
And they make the surgery just 2 days after.
Oh really?
And my ligament was still fresh.
Okay.
And they could stitch them, because I had two options. Like because I was leading the EWS. So first option was to tape it, because ligaments are maintained by muscles, can maintain the thing. They say, okay, you can tape it, race 90%, 85% of your skills all season, and then at the end of the year we take some ligament from your knees and put them here. I was like, okay, but otherwise we can do it now, stitches, rehab, and then you have like full potential after 3 months. So I say, okay, don't do the season, because that was in May, so until September I couldn't ride. But I think that was the good decision, because the surgery was super clean, and I don't feel anything anymore. And at the time I spoke with Tracy Mosley, Greg Minar, and Greg told me, for a while I had this same dislocation, and I didn't want to have surgery to not to miss some races. And at the end I finally did it, and I think it was losing time, because when you ride at 95%, 90% with the level, you cannot be in front. And if you look at where is Greg now, with the full shoulder, you can tell
current world champion.
Yeah.
Oh wow, crazy! Wow. So you got away pretty good with not a lot of injuries, serious injuries.
Yeah,
in a long career.
Yeah, that was my main one or two finger. That's the tree was moving too fast, and I didn't see it. Didn't respect the priority rules. It's okay, like nothing. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. So you raced up until what, 2017?
Yes, end of 17.
EWS, and then when did you and Pauline have your baby boy?
2018.
In 2018. Okay. And I was reading a story about how, you were worried about not riding enough and how a baby, was going to affect your riding schedule and everything. But it turned out that, you just have to balance your timeline and your schedule and you can make it work.
Yeah. I mean,
and congratulations, by the way, for having a baby in 2018.
Yeah. So first, it was not planned at all that I stopped racing and have baby directly. That just happened. So it was at the end was really good. But no, I think having a baby for sure takes some time. I will not say hey, it's like life is like before, but you can definitely fit some ride in the schedule and still travel, still do things. It needs a bit more preparation, logistic. You cannot just go, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Hey, let's go on a ride all day. You need to plan it, call your parents, hey, can you help us? Or what are you doing today? Tomorrow, Pauline, I go ride, you go ride, and we share the kids. So another good thing with baby is I think that biking is I think one of the easiest sport to bring your kids with.
Right.
Since of course the first year you cannot really bring them, but after you have like some seat that you can put in front with a belt. You have the trailer in the back that you can go and have a little adventure in the wood. And now we have a Mack ride. That's the seat that you can put on the top tube from the stem to the seat post.
Yeah.
And the kid is there, so from two you can do that.
And they have little foot places for their feet.
Exactly. And they
hang on to the handlebars.
Yeah. And you can. I did some really cool ride with him.
I saw photos.
Yeah. Ali took photos of a nice summer holidays in Dolomite.
Ali DeLillo.
Yeah.
Took some good shots. Yeah.
And yeah, that's really good that you can bring your kids around and yeah, that's what I want to give him. Like a lot of people ask me because he loves to ride his push bike and we do some little videos of him riding bikes. Oh, that's the next champion. And I was not raised my parents were not into competition.
Yeah.
So I was not raised as you need to be better, you need to be faster. What I just want to give him is to like the outdoor, like to be outside. And I'm happy, the most happy guy when my son in the morning say, hey, Daddy, we go out. And say whatever he wants to do. If he wants to go walking in the wood, if he wants to play in the garden, or if he wants to ride his bike, go on the snow, I'm happy. I don't just out. And I want to give him this love of the nature and to be outside. And yeah, that's bike is really good. And you can really do that with kids.
Yeah.
It's maybe less extreme. You don't go the shred trail and the jump trail on the bike park, but you can still fit that on the schedule. Right.
Well, you can go do that when you plan it, and you're around by yourself. But with your kid, you want to be safe with them and whatnot. But it's more than an experience because you're having that teaching and that shared love and that the bond together, and it's more powerful than ever I thought it would be. Because I was like, we're having a baby, and I was like, oh my god, like when am I going to shred? I need to shred.
Life is over.
Yeah, right. But it wasn't that way. You just have to be more organized. And make it happen for your own shred, hardcore times. But then you have those shared moments with your family, and it's way more powerful than I thought. And
just like a little story, so my wife was also Pauline Diffenthaler was also into riding. She did some EWS, and then she helped us.
Oh, she was very talented, very fast.
Yeah, she won Mega also.
Yeah.
So she likes to ride too. So she understands that okay, Daddy needs to ride, Mommy needs to ride, and. She got pregnant, so for 1 year when you're pregnant, you don't do extreme activity. She was on the e-bike for a long time. I think until the 8 months she was riding the e-bike. Good story with Mitch Ropelato and John Conchelier in New Zealand. We were for a SRAM launch, and she was pregnant and riding trains. Like, oh, you're crazy! And she said, I feel comfortable. I don't go over my limit. And so when she gave birth, the baby, and I was planning to go to Andes Pacifico. It's a race. I have good friends in Chile. Hi to all of you guys from Chile. My second family there. And Pauline said, yeah, I would like to do also. So it was kind of a mission after she was pregnant to go back on the fitness level and riding again. And so we had this mission to go to Andes Pacifico. That was probably 8 months after she gave birth. And yeah, but if we race both in Chile, what do we do with the kid?
Right.
So we went there 2 weeks before with the kid, 6 months playing in Chile. So you can still travel with the kid. Actually, it's easier when they are that small because you have a bucket in the plane and you can put in the bucket.
Yeah. There you go.
and my parents really support us when we were racing. So I said, okay, I paid the flight ticket for my parents and we can do the race and they take care of the kids. So they were staying around Santiago in the hotel with the kid. And in the evening after the race, they were coming so we can see the kid, take care of him a little bit. And then we came back home and they stay for some holidays. So
Perfect.
that was my kind of end career gift to my parents, like to give them like an experience of Chile, like paid travel. But they had to work still. They had to keep the baby.
Yeah, right. But a labor of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Oh my God. And Pauline did some racing too.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Not anymore. She's done race.
But at that race.
Yeah. She did the race. I mean, this kind of event on the Pacifico, Trans-Madeira, Trans-Provence, it's a race because it's time. But the real spirit is just to hang out with 70 rider, 100 rider, discover some amazing area and have fun. So the race is just an excuse, but it's just to ride some good places.
Right. I love Chile. Like I've ridden a lot of places in the world, and Chile is like super cool. Like some of the big mountain stuff that we did there was like huge. Like I don't even know how many thousands of feet they were, but they were huge. We did one sand slope that was 3,000 vertical feet. It took me 4.5 minutes of carving turns.
You were on the big dune in Chile somewhere.
Yeah,
it's Peru?
Iquique.
No, it's Chile.
Yeah, this one was in Chile, Iquique.
Okay.
And I timed it. Was actually 3 minutes and 50 seconds of ripping, but like 3.5 minutes, over 3.5 minutes of carving turns. No brakes, no pedaling, just like skiing powder, like heli skiing. It was
it's like when you ride on a volcano.
Right.
Like that's also a good feeling.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I've seen you do some videos where you're carving down some stuff, and you did a video series called 12 Months,
12 Stories.
12 Stories.
Yeah.
With Jeremy Royer.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to see a bunch of different stories, obviously. And then you had your video project Follow JC back in the day on YouTube, which people loved and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean,
you were free riding as well as racing.
That's at the time there were no YouTubers, there were no channels, and I wanted to share what I was doing, not only racing, because I love to race, but I also like to travel, to see things, meet people, and that I say, okay, this could be a good way to improve, for your sponsor also, and I think these days even more important. But at the time it was just the beginning, and bring something else to the community and to your sponsor also. So okay, I win race, but if one day I'm not that fast, what can I bring also? Or at the same time I can bring win race and do that. So I talked with my friends. Jeremy was working for a magazine and say, hey, next year is EWS. My sponsor are giving a bit more income, and I have some budget to do something cool. And he was only doing photo at the time. I say, I'm looking for someone that can make some photo at the race and capture some videos. I say, okay, I'm gonna try this fall to make some video. And this is how we started. And we did this 12-month race stories. So that was one video per month. Like we start in the winter, training in Spain, riding in the snow. Then first local race, then EWS. So every EWS we had an episode, and it was a kind of a vlog, but not at the level that the people are doing now. No, it's crazy.
But you're ahead of the game. You were doing it, before a lot of people did that, right? And it's part, they still do YouTube and then Instagram and TikTok and everything that they do now, but. You were ahead of the curve for a lot of racers.
Yeah, I tried to get inspired by other sport, and then also I was always running my team. So Cannondale was the main sponsor, but we were running with my wife. We were running the show, so we were reaching out to sponsor in the year. We were doing the presentation and doing the negotiation. So when you do negotiation yourself, you also need I'm winning races. I'm really good. I want more money, more support.
Right.
And the guy say, yeah, but you're already winning and we pay that much. And but I want more. Why? Because I want to improve the visibility, the communication, the return for you. So that's a kind of every year, and it was also my vision when I was training. Is like, okay, I'm good now, but how can I be better? And brainstorm and try to get new things out of the box to create something.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, a little free riding on top of your racing. So what about now? Or like, say not even now. Like I think as far back as 2020, you took a job. Because you're retired already from pro racing. You were pro racing for over 15 years.
Yeah, but basically from 2005 until 2017. So
right,
it's
a long
12 years.
Yeah, and then a bunch of racing before that to get to that level.
Yeah.
So racing all your life, basically, almost. But you took on a role as the mountain bike coordinator, like we mentioned earlier, for Cannondale, your longtime sponsor, NGT and Fabric.
Yeah.
And what did they have you doing? What were you doing for a job then?
So basically, when I stopped, I decided to stop racing is because when I was doing races for a long time, when I was finishing a race, I was thinking of how can I do better? What can I improve? I want to train Monday on my mistake of the weekend and improve. And by the end of 17, I didn't have this in me anymore. I was doing 6-7 at the race, which was still good, and I probably could have signed a contract with Cannondale on another brand for other years, but I didn't have this fire in me anymore. That it disappeared by itself.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, that's not what I want to do, and I don't want to be a guy that stay around and ask for sponsorship for doing nothing. So I say, okay, what could I do? So with Cannondale, we had a plan that for 2 years I keep doing some trans races, Trans Madeira, Trans Provence, etc. On the Pacifico, help them a little bit on the marketing side when we do a dealer event or with media, with press, so kind of ambassador role. And when we had an opportunity, we can eventually transition with a full position at Cannondale. So I'm really thankful from them that they support me in my career, that they help me for the transition and build a plan together. Of course, that was also what I kind of asked. I want to keep on with you, but this is where I want to go. And luckily, they really understand, and I'm working for them for almost 3 years now. And yeah, at the end of 2019, Jens Haug, that was in the company for a long time, just hey, we are needing more support on the mountain bike side. Would you be interested to do that? And I say, yeah, that could be the good time and something I will be interested into.
Yeah. So what did you do at this event? Like you're help coordinating and stuff, and you're organizing shoots, and you still do some riding yourself, do a little bit for some photo shoots and whatnot, like a little bit of everything.
So I started as a mountain bike coordinator for Europe, and in 2 years my position changed a little bit. It's the same but a bit more broad. I'm responsible of event and partnership in Europe. So not only mountain bike, also urban, road, etc.
Okay.
And all the ambassadors that are not in the pro team. We have pro team in road, pro team on mountain bike, Ella, Connolly, which is Enduro, that's managed by Global, and all the regional ambassador. I'm in charge of this and event coordination. So I'm lucky enough that I can be here, help to run the Cannondale booth, set this up, make the team, everything, and can still ride a little bit around because I have some connection with the media, with other riders. So
yeah,
that's a good balance.
Yeah, it's a dream job. That's awesome. Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm working from home. We have an office which is 1 hour from my place.
Yeah,
which I go every week, one day.
Yeah,
to do that, and yeah, it's I always like to do something. I always like new challenge, and to learn and to keep improving. So that's I think was a good mission, and they gave me some responsibilities. And we have the event. We want them to be a bit better. What can we do? And you can bring your idea, learn from others, and that makes me every morning when I wake up motivated and excited, rather than okay, now I need to train again to be the fastest, but I'm getting older. I don't want to take risk, and I don't want to go to the gym because I like to be outside, not at the gym.
Right. That's awesome. How old's your baby boy now?
He's almost 4.
Oh man. Oh, that's a fun age.
Yeah. He's a good kid. Not always easy.
Yeah.
He has some character. I don't know if it's from his mom. But sorry.
Yeah.
No, he's good, and he loves to be out riding his bike. So he ride mostly in the mountain. He ride a push bike.
Yeah.
The best thing we did, and that's if you have a kid, do it. If you buy a push bike, buy a push bike with brakes. First, you're gonna save on shoes, and then to learn the control of the bike, the speed, and then when he goes on a pedal bike, it's one less thing to understand because they need to integrate a lot of things, pedaling, braking. So the braking is already
Already taken care of.
yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And this year we put him on skis just to try, and he really picked it up quickly.
Yeah.
And we were in the Alps in April, and we were skiing with him on a big resort, blue tracks, but he was following, and we did I think more than 2,000 meter elevation down with him.
Really?
Yeah, well, we didn't expect that, but
At 4 years old?
yeah, and he was like, yeah, one more. And now in this resort, they have some kids slope with, items that you can push and check and go in the tunnel. So he was loving it.
Yeah. That's super cool.
And so morning ski, make him tired, sleep, and then that he could go on the funicular and ride his bike. With my friend Vincent again. Still there.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Wow. Well, it sounds like a good career, a good life, and you're in a good place right now.
Yeah, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Happy at the moment, and also we're super stoked. Like, for example, here to be able to see a lot of long-time friends again.
Right.
COVID is a bit quiet at the moment, so hopefully it stays like this, and we can keep traveling and meeting each other. I think that's important.
Yeah, this is one of the first big events I've been back to. I did Rampage last year announcing, and then did Sea Otter, and then now this. So it's my third event back after COVID. So good to see everybody and rub elbows and nerd out on the new bike stuff and party a little bit, ride a little bit.
Yeah, and I think we, as a brand, we are happy to be out and see excited people wanting to talk with us and engage. And as a person, I'm happy to be out and see my old friends, see what's going on in the world. And I think the mood here in Riva was super good.
Yeah,
for everyone, I think.
Yeah,
and the weather was with us. So
yeah, super cool. Well, we're lucky to be us right now. Woo! Okay, well, we're going to wrap this up, but before we wrap it up, it's a tradition here on the BTP podcast for the guest to tell a joke. Do you have a joke for us, Jerome?
I think I have to, huh?
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't have invited me.
Right.
So, do you know the difference between a woman and video games?
No.
Then keep on playing video games.
Ouch. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, funny. Well, that's an amazing career you've had. I'm very proud of you. Proud to call you a friend.
I'm happy to have you as a friend too.
Yeah, man. We've had some good times.
Example,
Yeah, we did some riding here actually years ago. Yeah. I remember we did a van to shuttle up, and we didn't ride together very long because you were very fast, but and it was rough and rocky. But we rode together a little bit, and then over the years,
Yeah, we still get in touch. Even if we live far away, there's always a time where we can catch up and have a good time, and really appreciate this kind of moment. And here, also like catching up with Cedric Gracia, Hans Ray, all these guys, and also the new generation. Like we have an Italian rider, Mirko Vandemia, who is the fastest in Italy. Like a lot of people, a lot of good character here, and it's always good to exchange.
Yeah, so cool. Awesome, brother. Well, great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
Thank you very much once again to the one and only Jerome Clementz here on the BTP podcast. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Ow!